Surf fishing for the sharks. In this video, I'm going to show you why you need a long leader so you don't get tail whipped by the big sharks. We're going to look at 4 leaders today. All the sharks were caught on our channel with these leaders. First one we're going to look at is my wife's 7'2" lemon shark. I run a 2-part leader system, a cable part and a mono part connected with a split ring. This is the lemon shark 1, 4 foot of 480 cable and 6 foot 3 inches of 50-pound mono twisted. So the total length of the leader is 10.3. Now, this leader, you can see the black marks on it clearly. That's from my mechanics gloves that I use when I leader the sharks to protect my hands. So when I went out to get that lemon shark, I got a good grip on it and the leader's all scuffed up. So when he pulled it, it took the material off my gloves. There was only 7 inches toward the end of the leader that was not frayed. So the shark got all the way up to 9 feet 8 inches. If you had a 9 foot 8 inch leader, his tail would have got up there, touched the braid, would have cut it, you wouldn't have caught the fish. Next leader we're going to look at is the leader that we caught the 6-foot blacktip on. Okay, the day that we caught the 6-foot blacktip, I had 2 rigs out that day. Both 3 foot of 480 cable, and one was a 6'2" mono and one was a 6'4" mono. 2 hours before we caught the 6-foot blacktip, we hooked what I believe was 6.5 and probably 7 foot, because when it came out of the water, it was huge. Definitely, probably the biggest shark we've ever hooked. It tail whipped the 6 foot 4 inch leader. So it took one of my 9.0 Super Mood 2 3 foot 480 cable rigs plus the mono rig, gone. 2 hours later, we hooked the 6-foot blacktip with this rig. 3 foot 480 cable. This one is 6 foot 2 inches. Now, the sharks were jumping out of the water and spinning and twirling, and they get wrapped up in the leader. They hit the water. When they swim away, their tail hits the braid. So here's a good example of what a tail whip is. The 6 foot, this is 9 foot 2 inches. The 6-foot blacktip, this is a tail whip. It's only frayed about that much. That's the very end of his tail whacking it. That's all the way up to 8 foot 9 inches on the leader. So I only had 5 inches to spare, or we would have lost that fish. The rest of the leader through here is almost perfect. There's almost nothing on it till you get down around in here, and then it gets pretty frayed up. So that's what a tail whip is. If their tail touches your braid, it's going to instantly cut it. If you have leader material, it takes quite a bit. Like that lemon shark's tail was massively, probably for about 5 minutes, whacking against it. The way this is scuffed, it looks like the blacktip tail might have just hit it a couple of times, because it depends on how long your rod is. And if you get the shark turned, all you're looking at is to get past a couple of tail whips, and it doesn't take much mono to do that. So the next leader we're going to look at, she caught 3 sharks on the leader before I finally cut it off to put a new leader on it. Okay, on this leader, she caught 3 sharks. 2 of them on the 3 foot 9.0 Super Mood 2, and the spinner shark was caught on a 3 foot double 8.0 Gorilla Hook rig. As far as the scuffing on the leader, we're going to only look at the 100-pound blacktip. The 62-inch blacktip really didn't do anything to it. The 100-pound blacktip, with the total length of the leader, this is 6'10", that's 3, so it's 9'10". The 100-pound blacktip was only 5 foot 8 inches long. He got all the way up to the 7 foot 5 inch mark with a tail whip. Now, there's a little bit of scuffing here, and it's not quite as much as a lemon shark because we fished with this quite a bit after the 100-pound blacktip, and she caught the 6'3" spinner shark. So this thing was kind of scuffed, so I don't know what the damage the spinner shark did. But you can kind of see a little bit of discoloration from the 100-pound blacktip where I grabbed it there and up here. Not as much as a lemon shark. It's faded because we used the leader quite a bit after that. But it's pretty scuffed up through here and up in here. But there was 27 inches left, so we had a lot. But still, the 5'8" shark got to the 7'7" mark. The next one we're going to look at is what we caught the 5'4" blacktip, which is really 5'6" because 2 inches the top of his tail was chopped off by a motorboat or something. This is the rig that we caught the shark on with the BG 5000 when we were fishing for the bluefish. This is the Bluefish Rig. It's 26 inches of 480 cable to the bottom hook. The leader is 7 foot of 50-pound single strand mono with an FG knot, and then I tied it with a clinch knot. Now, this shark did hardly anything to the leader. Up here was a little bit frayed up to about this point, but all this up here is fine. It was nothing until you get to the very end, and there's that little bit of tail whip. Even though the shark was missing the top of his tail, he still whacked it. And so this is a lighter style rig than my twisted mono ones. A couple of trips later, with this leader, with a 2.5 foot 480 cable with an 8/0 gorilla hook, we hooked the stingray. And she got it all the way to the edge of the surf. When I went to pull it in, the clinch knot broke. The stingray probably weighed 75 pounds because it was a huge one. So because of that, I like the FG knot in the single strand mono. It cast really well. I am now using 8 foot of 100-pound mono, and I crimped it instead of knotted it. So with the Cabo 80, about 4 videos ago, we already caught a shark with that setup, with this exact leader here. So that's 2 big sharks we caught when we were fishing for the bluefish. And this is just examples here of why you need the long leaders when you're fishing for the sharks. Because if you build your leaders strong enough and they're long enough, you're going to catch most of the sharks that you hook. So thanks for watching, and good luck catching a big blacktip.